People do not know God's will, nor are they aware of his intention, nor his name, symbols, and virtues. They have given him names which are all correct and, at the same time, all incorrect. Because even if he had a name, it could not be written or spoken with human words. This video is about the fate and fundamental beliefs of Mani. If you're watching one of our videos for the first time, subscribe and join us in exploring ancient beliefs. Christian and Zoroastrian leaders, who witnessed a considerable migration of their followers to the teachings of Mani following the Iranian prophet's death during his imprisonment by the Sassanian Shah, made extensive attempts to quash his faith. Their efforts included harsh persecution, forcing Mani's followers to flee their territories, burning Mani's books and unique writings, and authoring a series of writings to debunk Mani's beliefs, branding them as evil. During the reign of the Persian king, Shah Shapur, Manichaeans flourished across the Persian Empire, capitalizing on the Shah's stance of religious tolerance. Mani enjoyed substantial freedom to propagate his beliefs, bolstered by Shapur's and his successor, Hormozd I's, patronage. Manichaean temples had even been constructed adjacent to numerous temples of ancient religions in the expansive realm known at that time. However, with Shapur's demise and the brief reign of his successor, Manichaean life entered a grim chapter. Various historical records detail the life of Mani and his eventual encounter with a figure named Kartir, who was a high-ranking Zoroastrian official during Shah Shapur's reign and later became the chief of Zoroastrian priests. From the beginning, Kartir opposed Mani's teachings and beliefs. Despite Kartir's opposition to Mani's teachings and beliefs, Shapur I's lenient policies regarding different religions and beliefs, as well as the policies of his immediate successor, prevented Kartir's schemes from bearing fruit. It was only when Bahram I ascended to the throne that the situation began to change. In this book, you can find more about the conflict between Kartir and the Sassanian kings regarding Mani in a story-like form, and it is largely consistent with the accounts in this other book in Farsi. In the various sources we have examined thus far, Mani is consistently depicted as the offspring of a family residing in a rural vicinity near Tisphone. Nearly every narrative describes his mother as hailing from the lineage of the Ashkanian kings. As for Mani's father, Patak, accounts diverge. While all agree on his Persian roots, with a connection to the region of Hekmataneh, or present-day Hamadan, some portray him as a merchant while others characterize him as a prince or a Persian nobleman. The narrative of this book describes how 18-year-old Patak, who had a pregnant wife, met the leader of a religious sect named Sitai at a temple in Tisphone. Patak was influenced by Sitai's teachings and joined the sect, subsequently leaving his pregnant wife. He became one of nearly 60 members of the sect, settling in an oasis near Tisphone. The followers of this sect had conditions akin to the Essenes, a group of men distanced from women, donning white robes and often secluded in their defined territories. Praying and supplication constituted a substantial part of their daily routines. They abstained from wine, meat and animal products, growing their essential food items and selling the excess in markets. They avoided conflict and spilling blood, showing a reluctance to kill anything and sacrifice its blood to gods. In various sources, they are introduced as a Jewish sect who believed in Christ, John the Baptist, and Thomas simultaneously, and at the same time, in their works, they mentioned an unknown prophet named Al-Thalatha, that in the author's belief, he was Seth, the son of Adam. Accepting this perspective, the group that Mani's father joined shares many resemblances with the Mandaeans. However, our current sources don't attribute the Mandaeans to Mani's father. If you have any insights on this, please share them with us in the comments. A few years after joining the residents of the white-robed Oasis, Mani's father is sent by Sitai to visit his wife. If their child was a girl, he had to leave her with her mother, but if they had a son, he had to take him with him to the Oasis, because according to their belief, the sons of the members of this sect were born into their father's religion. Mani, born on April 14, 214 AD, was forcibly separated from his mother and taken to the Oasis by his father when he was 4 years old. For nearly 20 years, he was compelled to live among the members of this sect. However, when he was 12 years old, a force introduced as Mani's celestial twin approached him. This force condemned the sect's worshipments as a pretense and corruption, and imparted instructions that deviated from the beliefs and rituals of the white-robed sect members. Among their daily activities, mandatory work in agricultural lands and gardening was essential. However, Mani's celestial twin advised him, "Be gentler and more compassionate with this land. Walk on it slowly and softly, avoiding sudden movements. Do not eliminate a tree or break a branch. Pretend that you are plowing the land, but do not harm it. Be satisfied with caressing it, and when others cry out of desperation, move your lips but don't shout." Mani refrained from discussing these teachings with anyone, and dedicated nearly a decade to reading and meditating, preparing himself to venture beyond the confines of the Oasis. Previously, in videos whose links are provided in the description, you became acquainted with the concept of light in Manichaeism. You know about the particles which, are being held by dark forces under the command of Ahriman, became prisoners and contributed to the creation of the first humans, thereby keeping a large portion of these light fragments trapped within human bodies. Light fragments, also known as human spirits, are not aware of their own essence. They always feel bewildered and unsettled and lack an attachment to this world. In the descriptions of the confused state of human spirits, some, at the time of sunset, feel a bewilderment within their inner light. The sun is vital as it acts as one of the primary tools that Merizad, in Mani's narrative, created to guide and purify the light fragments that are trapped in this world. Spirits that can liberate themselves from the material realm, following their cleansing in the moon and sun, transition into a temporary realm known as New Paradise, a location under the command of Hormazd Bar, the ideal human in the Manichaean faith and offspring of the Mother of Life. He is depicted as the progenitor of the light fragments ensnared in the material world, and is the parallel of Kayumars in ancient Persian traditions. Due to the strategic setup created by Merizad for the confrontation with dark forces, Ahriman is unable to access the realm of light, overseen by Zurvan, where light beings reside. As a result, Ahriman concentrates on hindering the departure of light particles from the dark realm and their subsequent return to the world of light. His primary tactic has consistently been to promote human procreation. With each new birth, a portion of the light previously residing within their parents is transmitted into a new body. This increases the number of individuals the light forces must engage with as they endeavor to awaken human souls and lead them towards the world of light. As a result, their task becomes more challenging. Simultaneously, the dispersion of light particles across numerous human bodies diminishes the inner potency of each individual, thereby offering them fewer opportunities for awakening. Based on the accounts we've examined so far regarding the world of light in Manichaeism, we learn that its denizens experience enduring peace and calm. They are unfamiliar with death or ailment, residing in a gorgeous mythical realm. Human souls in the physical realm have also encountered this realm of radiance and splendor, although their recollections have diminished throughout millennials of captivity in the shadowy dark world. Still, their inherent affection and fascination with beauty and light signify their previous experiences in the luminous world. In Manichaeism, the luminous essence within humanity also amplifies in potency through enlightenment and aesthetics. Thus, it must be perpetually enriched. The human senses are conduits to grasp beauty, and the five senses are embodiments of light, meant to be imbued with fragrances, hues, and uplifting melodies. They should shun noxious scents, filth, and mournful wails. In the two books we've scrutinized, it's evident that in Mani's realm, the incarceration of light particles in the dark realm wasn't accidental or a light force's shortcoming. Instead, it was a stratagem by the light forces themselves to debilitate the dark forces, a notion strikingly similar to ancient Persian beliefs, wherein the Fravashis descended to earth as allies of Ahura Mazda to weaken Ahriman's forces. We also have further elucidation regarding the god of the luminous realm, a deity presented in Manichaean narratives to Persians as Zorvan, a deity of pristine purity, who can't even conceive evil thoughts about Ahriman and the dark forces, thus leaving the task of vanquishing them to his subordinates while abstaining from the fray. A deity humans lack the capacity to grasp the essence of. In Mani's descriptions we also have, humans are unaware of God's will, intentions, name, or attributes. They bestow upon him various names, all of which are simultaneously accurate and erroneous. If he did possess a name, it could never be articulated or inscribed using human language. Attributes like richness and mightiness are merely human concepts and are devoid of significance in the divine realm. Some people attribute to him fear, affection, anger, and emotions. Others talk of his envy or anger towards humans due to their actions or attire. However, none of these hold any sway in the lofty echelons of divinity. This description can also serve to recognize current beliefs that resonate with Mani and demonic religions. In any religion where God is depicted as pure, innocent, and eternally compassionate, we align with the God of Mani's realm. However, any belief system that discusses anger, envy, and regulations set by their God for humans is indicative of a demonic religion. Mani utilized criteria drawn from his most exalted, pure, and innocent God to envision his ideal world on earth. In his words, he expressed a belief that if his mission were ever to reach widespread acceptance, it would signal the end of hatred. It would usher in a day when, akin to the God of the realm of light, humans would have no enmity, embracing one another as siblings, devoid of hypocrisy and accusations. Light particles, as the divine sparks that inhabit all humans, are not exclusive to any particular race or social class. They are not exclusive to either men or women. Rather, everyone can cultivate them through wisdom and nurturing kindness. By crystallizing the divine light within themselves, they can reveal their existential greatness. For this purpose, prayers and worship were just a fraction of human endeavors, and the temples established by Mani were not only sites of worship, but also institutions for imparting arts such as painting, calligraphy, poetry, and music. And the residents, who were esteemed as masters of their craft, renounced wealth, power, and fame. In exchange, they enjoyed a life of affluence and simplicity. On the other hand, the Manichaean doctrine was characterized by its inclusivity, where anyone could join without altering their lifestyle or profession. This definition was in stark contrast to the prevailing approach of contemporary sects. Ironically, Mani himself spent a considerable part of his life in the seclusion of a palm grove as a member of one such sect. The primary aim of adhering to the Manichaean faith was to safeguard the inner light. The sole condition for joining was to refrain from taking a life or causing any being to suffer. As this light becomes more diluted and distributed among humans through reproduction, it weakens and may even face complete annihilation.